Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys making some time to check the video out and spend some time with me. It's always appreciated. And guys, today I'm going to run 3 facts by you all that are going to blow your mind about bass. And there's a bunch of things that can blow your mind about bass and bass behavior, but there's 3 that come to mind I want to discuss in today's video. So I think it might be an interesting little topic here to discuss. Also, before we get started, guys, just a couple quick reminders here. Housekeeping, the dreaded daily housekeeping tips. We have our Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns up for the winter months right now. If you guys are interested in getting some good places to fish this winter, especially for jerk bait and little swim bait fishing, it's a great resource to get you 40 good GPS waypoints and some tips and advice to fish it. And I'll put the lake map breakdown link in the description, and also I'll put my tackle warehouse link in the description if you guys want to use and bookmark that link when you need to buy tackle. Just a great way to support the channel, so really appreciate it. Okay guys, 3 things that are going to blow your mind. These are things that I know they are true from my own experience and from bouncing my experiences off other people. When you get reproducible results after decades and decades and decades of fishing, you can pretty much say if something's true or not. So 3 things that are going to blow your mind. First of all, bass are individuals. People think in terms of when they're thinking about fishing, it's like, oh, the fish are doing this, or the fish are moving into this seasonal pattern, or fish aren't biting this or they're biting that. Guys, every bass out there is just like a human. They have their own characteristics and moods and personalities. They're unique to themselves, and you can't think about bass in terms of like this big school fish that is just has some type of mass consciousness amongst them, because they don't. Because take for example, you've got some bass that they spend their entire lives living around a blowdown tree in 10 foot of water. They probably don't get 50 feet away from that tree. They live in that tree all year long. They move up to the bank and spawn in the springtime of the year, hang out by the tree, or maybe suspend out in front of it. They live around that tree all year long, and that's sort of their territory. You have other bass out there that are just nomads. They roam their entire lives in open water, just following shad schools. They don't have any identity to cover whatsoever. They're just open water roamers. And you have some bass that are sort of in between that. You've got some bass that if you release them in a certain area, say you catch a bass 50 miles away in a tournament and you bring it back to weigh-in, some bass will stay within a couple miles of the weigh-in site, and other bass will swim back 50 miles to where they come from. Bass are just unique. They're individuals out there, so don't ever think of in terms of when you're thinking about bass that they're just some mass group consciousness out there. Second fact that will blow your mind about it is the largemouth bass lineage, as far as the descendants and the lineage of our modern day largemouth bass, date back to over 3 million years. They have found fossilized remains that have dated back to 3 million years that connect those particular, that lineage of bass to our modern day lineage. So when you think in terms of that, bass are incredible survivors. For any species out here to be here over 3 million years on this planet, they have learned to adapt and to be masters of their environment like no other out there. So don't ever, when you realize that a bass has been here on this planet longer than humans have, you have to respect that. You have to respect the fact of the natural innate intelligence that a bass has that is far beyond most other creatures on this planet that have come and gone and went extinct and that type of stuff. So I always find that's amazing that they've been able to survive in a tremendous amount of different situations and environments and external things thrust upon them for that long. And the third thing, guys, sort of tied into that a little bit, is bass evolve quickly to learn. And bass, like everything else, they're in a constant state of evolution, adapting to their changing environment. You have to do that in order to survive as any species. But one of the things I found about bass that will blow your mind is I think that they evolved on some cellular DNA level to learn and fail very quickly. And I've used this analogy before, and I want to run by you because it's the only thing that makes any sense. back 50 years ago, we used to catch a lot of fish on a lure with what's called a hellbender lure. And it's this large metal lure that's got a big metal lip on it. It's got a spinner on the back of it. It's one of those early baits that looks crazy, but back in the 1970s, guys, we used to catch a lot of big fish on them. I mean, that's about all my dad and I fished with these hellbenders here in Missouri. And I've got pictures of a bunch of big fish we caught on them. Guys, like on Table Rock Lake, Stockton Lake, all that type of stuff, Grand Lake. If you go out today and throw a hellbender on any of those lakes that, you know, I talked about, you're going to throw that thing for a week and never get a bite on it. The fish will simply not bite it simply because the rudimentary action and look of that bait. Now, here's what you have to realize as far as how they evolve quickly to learn. The bass that were biting that particular hellbender 50 years ago are not here anymore. And the generation of bass that we have right here in today in 2023, 99.9% of them have never seen a hellbender. They've never seen it, yet they still won't bite it, and they used to bite it like crazy 50 years ago. So when you consider the fact that bass usually bite things they haven't seen very much. If something new comes along that a bass hasn't seen, they will usually bite it pretty good. So you've got several generations of bass, probably 10 generations of bass that have never seen a hellbender, yet will never bite it, yet bass 50 years ago, they bit the paint off the thing. I think that, and a lot of people can dismiss that, but in my opinion, I think bass have the ability to evolve so quick, a lot quicker than what most people think. And another good, point, to verify that is if they've been here 3 million years on this planet, they have learned to adapt quick. If they did not learn to adapt quick, they couldn't survive and thrive. They would have been extinct long ago. So point of the video, guys, is give bass credit where credit is due. One of the most the meaning things that irritates me more than anything is when people say bass are just these stupid pea-brain creatures. They're not, guys. You cannot equate human intelligence with a bass's intelligence, because a bass can thrive and survive in a situation from their own innate intelligence that we never could. Do you think you could find a minnow swimming in pitch black dark, 30 foot underwater? No. They have their own set of intelligence that you can't equate to ours. So they demand and they deserve respect. Like I said, if they've been on this planet longer than we have, if they've been on this planet 2 million years longer than the human species, that to me deserves a tremendous amount of respect. So anyway, just a few mind-blowing mind-blowing facts there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll talk later.